Right, here we are, the last thing on a Saturday. I'm not going to trouble you anymore after this one. But I found this little nugget, VTubers, which I thought we might walk through together. Let's listen to it. Here we go. Here we go. It's very interesting. Here we go.
Tell us about the story in the Mirror about Charles summoning William for a summit. What is that about?
Ooh.
So apparently, yes.
Yes.
There's going to be a big meeting.
It's going to be a
of the
big
senior
meeting.
royals about the future of the monarchy. Now, again,
Oh, I say.
And I'm sure that many of your viewers and listeners will disagree with me on
Yes.
this, but this is the home of free speech, so I'm not afraid to say
Right.
that I'm an out-and-out Republican. I
Oh.
think
Julie Hardy-Brewer.
Yes.
There you go. What company I'm keeping these days. My fellow Lib Dems will be
Who?
thrilled.
Lib who? Lib Dem? Well, that's a little journey in the Wayback Machine, isn't it? Lib Dem Libs. What? Where were they? Have they been hiding? He's a Lib Dem. He's a fine figure of a Lib Dem as well, isn't he? Yeah. I would say invisible, but do you get me? I can't really, without being rude. I don't want to be rude. So he's a Republican. We all are, especially when we're in a pub.
With that, I'm sure.
Yes.
But yeah, so I mean, my view is that it's totally undemocratic and there's no defence of it. But
Right.
we've got them for the moment.
Yes.
Apparently, in a few days, there's going to be this.
Shout it out and shout
where
it
the
loud.
King, the Queen.
Here we go.
William and
There we
Kate,
go.
Kate, who apparently are superstars according to Charles.
Of course they are.
Going to be together in one room, sipping on coffee, no doubt brought along by their servants, and they're going to have this discussion about the future.
Well, I wouldn't mind being there. I'd be quite happy to be their servant. I'd love to be in the background just doing a bit of dusting, minding my own bleeding beeswax. Can't help it, do you know what I mean? Overhearing what they're talking about. Yes, because I've got a feeling that I know the general theme of their conversation. What do you reckon, VTubers? Should we go through it?
Of the monarchy, and apparently Charles wants it to be centred around the Commonwealth, and actually that's really interesting because
the Commonwealth was fully behind the Queen. Always was. Loved the Queen. We all loved the Queen. Yes. And then certain people said certain things, and when the poor old... They were the Duke and Duchess of Cornwall at the time, but they're now the Prince and Princess of Wales, yes. When they went over to Jamaica, they had a bit of a sticky time, didn't they, VTubers? And we're not allowed to say how or why, are we? No, we're not, no. Rabble-rousing. Anyway, did I say that? I didn't mean to. Did it come out? I thought it. I've got no filter. I'm like Matthew Steeples. Can't help myself.
is there a future for the Commonwealth? I mean, no one seems to want
to host
the Commonwealth Games.
Yes.
Which is
yeah.
the big thing.
Well, the same with the games, because certain stirrers, I was going to say SHIT stirrers, but I wouldn't say that, obviously, because it's too rude for your VTube. But certain people have been stirring, haven't they? Yes, they have. And then you got Lib Dems that are nowhere to be seen, and all of a sudden they've come up, popped up, well, burst forth, and now they've got an opinion. Amazing that, isn't it? Come on, whatever your name is. Matthew Hilbert.
Every few years. Very successful in Birmingham, absolutely agree with that. But no one seems to want to host the new one. And so is there a future actually for that group of nations?
Well, there is,
I'm not entirely
yes.
sure that there is.
They need to get rid of the flotsam and jetsam, don't they? That's what they need to do, VTubers. And the ne'er-do-wells, yes, yes. And all the snake oil salesmen, yeah, that are riding high on the coattails of the royal family, yes, and causing untold bleeding shenanigans. Because there was no trouble with the Commonwealth. Everybody in the Commonwealth, we were all friends, everybody knew everyone. Well, I did anyway. I know most of Jamaica, do you get me, you know. Well, the ones that live in London anyway. And they've got Jamaican citizens, they're members of the Commonwealth. We're all together in one big happy family. Yes, we are. And then, all I'm saying is somebody came along with a white parting, an oversized maxi spray can, a bronzer. And here we have this shoot show. Come on.
Well, it's interesting because King Charles and also his mother, Queen Elizabeth II, were certainly people who, certainly she was someone who really thought the Commonwealth was very, very important. And there are, I think the Commonwealth is...
Because her dad was the first king of the Commonwealth, wasn't he? Because I think George V... Yeah, because Lord Mountbatten of whatever his name was, Burma, somewhere, India. Yeah, and... yeah, they went independent. So instead of being an empire, we became Commonwealth, you know? In other words, we're all commonly wealthy. or commonly poor. Depends really, doesn't it? You know. Especially if you vote for the Lib Dems. Well, actually, if you vote for any of them.
Thing. Obviously, people will call the hangover from empire and so on. But there are lots of countries that want
need to vote for Matthew.
What are your arguments against the monarchy?
Yes, he takes a lot of feeding. He's a big lad.
But why? Tell us why.
I don't think we'd start out with it if we were starting the country again.
That's a really good point, actually. No. But let me just stop you there.
I think we would. Shut up. But whatever. Go on.
I promise I'll let you come in a second. But I kind of think the royal family's a bit like Trident. In that it's pointless, it's expensive, but getting rid of it would be more effort, would tear the country apart far more than it would make progress. What do you think of that?
And here we have the nub of the whole bleeding interview, don't we? Yes. I don't know what Charles is up to, but it's going to be a shoot show, isn't it? I'm just glad that William and Kate are there. Maybe they can talk some sense. Oh, dearie me. What a troubled web we weave when first we practice to deceive. Yes, yes, yes. And we know who's put the spoke in the bleeding fire on this one, don't we, VTubers? Yes, we do. Who shall remain nameless? Yes, they shall. Well, I'm not going to say their name. I mean, are you? Do you know what I mean? I don't want to get markled. To be fair, I was born markled. I've always been ghosted. You've only got to look at me, you can see. I'm a spectre. Yes, yeah, I'm a shadow of my former self, apparently, or something. Anyway, good night, VTube. I won't bother you again, I promise. And tomorrow, I'm going to have a nice Sunday. I'm going to go on my knees in church. Where, say church, buffet time, do you get me? I'll always end up on my knees because I've got to get there first. And my VTubers, yes, I have. Oh, I can't have other people getting in there before me. No, not those black pepper and salt prawns. No, yeah, and the sticky ribs. I'm not having that. Bye-bye now.